not careful with essential oils, you could have a very flammable candle on your hands. Today, I'll be showing you how to make an essential oil candle and what you need to do to avoid setting your candle on fire. Subscribe and hit the bell if you're a budding candle maker looking to start and grow your own business. You can also follow me on Instagram at Luna London Candles. I've also recently joined Clubhouse, so if you're interested in connecting and speaking about candles, you can find me there on at Ishani Parbu. Hey everyone, welcome back. My name is Ishani and I'm the creator of Luna London, a home fragrance company. If you'd like to check it out, you can find the link in the description box below. I am so excited to have you here today, and we are going to be talking all things essential oils. I personally love essential oil candles. I think they're lovely and relaxing. They're also said to have aromatherapy and therapeutic benefits. Essential oils are also brilliant if you want to experiment with making your own scents. Just a disclaimer, if you plan to do that, you need to have a CLP created if you sell in the EU or the UK. If you're unsure of what an essential oil is, it's basically an oil extracted directly from plants through distillation. These oils can be found in all parts of the plant, so like the seeds, the roots, the bark, or the flowers. They basically differ from fragrance oils, which are synthetic or man-made. Essential oils are usually associated with some kind of benefit. For example, one of the most common ones is lavender, which is meant to be very relaxing and soothing and helps you get ready for bed. If you're interested, I've made a guide on the most popular essential oils and their alleged aromatherapy benefits. So if you'd like to download it, I've popped a link in the description box below. One thing I just wanted to highlight before we get into the making is that I see essential oils being marketed as non-toxic just because it's plant-based. And frankly, that's just not true. Essential oils, even though they're plant-based, doesn't mean that they have no toxins or things that could be harmful to children, pets, or humans in general. So just be very sure that you have the correct CLP labeling if you're going to use essential oils. Just as an example, some of the most well-known oils are considered toxic, especially if they are consumed or are in high quantities. So stuff like clove, tea tree oil, or camphor. With all of that out the way, let's get into the making. I'll do a quick rundown of everything you need. So as usual, you'll need your melting pot. You'll need something to stick down your wicks, a thermometer, wax. So I've already gone ahead and just measured out my wax to make it a bit quicker. I'm using the CS2 wax. It's my favorite wax. You'll need something to heat up your jars. You can do this in the oven. I'm just going to use a heat gun. Something to clean out your jars. I'm using the Karen 20 centiliter jar from, I think it was Koziel, but generally it's a pretty standard jar which you can find from multiple suppliers. You'll need something to center your wick. I'm using the V10 wick from, I got this from Candle Shack, but again, it's a wick that you can probably find in a lot of supplies stores. The best bit, which is the essential oil. So today I'm using rosemary from Supplies for Candles. And it smells amazing. It's so lovely and just really uplifting. Brilliant. So now that my jar is clean, I'm going to go ahead and stick down my wick. So I've already had my glue gun going, and I will just go ahead and down. So now that I have stuck down my wick, I like to just go ahead and center it straight away just so it's ready for its pour. Brilliant. So as usual, we are going to do the double boiling method. All you're going to need is a pan of water, heat it up, and we're going to stick our wax in. Not directly in there, but in the melting pot. So I'm going to go ahead and prep that up. So while our water's heating up, let's just talk about the weights of the ingredients I'm using. So in this jar, I want to have a total weight of 170 grams. Now, because I'm using essential oils, I want to go with 8%. Now, essential oils, if not properly combined, can be very flammable. So it's definitely better to try going with lower percentages than you usually would. So with a fragrance oil, I'd feel very comfortable with going with 10%, but because I'm using an essential oil, I want to go at 8%. So because I want to do an 8% load and have an overall of 170 grams, I have calculated that I need 156.4 grams of wax and 13.6 grams of essential oil. So our water's almost done, and I'm going to go ahead and just pop in my wax into the melting pot. Just make sure I get it all in there. and I'm gonna go ahead and pop it on the stove. And I like to just give it a bit of a stir with my thermometer, just to make sure that as much of the wax is touching sort of the sides of the melting pot as possible. So it just helps it kind of get all areas in contact, which means that I can get it melted a bit quicker than if I just had everything stacked on top of each other. So while our wax is melting, I wanted to talk a little more about essential oils. Essential oils, because it's basically derived directly from plants, they aren't as stable as fragrance oils. And this is why your essential oil candles are more prone to becoming flammable in comparison to fragrance oils. Fragrance oils have been made specifically with the purpose of being used in candles, and so has been chemically engineered with ingredients that will help it be stable and give you the performance you want with hot and cold throw. So essentially, if you want to use essential oils in your candles, you basically have to do a lot of testing to get the performance where you'd want it to be, whereas it's a bit easier to work with fragrance oils because they have been engineered for the specific purpose of being used in candle making. So my wax is almost there. I'm at about 70 degrees right now, and I basically am almost there with fully melting my wax, so that usually takes me to about 75 degrees. So we are almost ready to take it off and let our wax cool. Okay, my wax is done. I went up to about 75 degrees in melting down all of my wax. I have just got this, it's a bit horrible, but it's got full of wax, but heat-proof mat just to protect my scales. So let me just go ahead and pop it off the stove. And I'm just going to set it here on my scales. So I'm just going to go ahead and let my wax cool down quite a bit. When working with essential oils, you want to go and pour your oil in a lot cooler than you would with a fragrance oil, and that comes back to the point that it doesn't have these stabilizers in there. So like I said, today I'm using the rosemary essential oil from Supplies for Candles, and it smells so good. I've not tried this one before. I've used their eucalyptus one, which was amazing, and I really love essential oils as part of my morning routine. So essential oil candles are like really nice and adds like kind of a different vibe for your morning routine, whereas I really like fragrance oil based candles where you can get really spicy, cozy kind of scents, which I think suits the evening really nicely, where you can snuggle up. So yeah, rosemary essential oil is what we'll be using for this candle. So I personally like to wait until I'm at about 60 degrees before I add in my essential oil. Again, with essential oils, you do have to do a lot of testing just to kind of find your knack. So when working with essential oils, you want to make sure that you're not pouring your oil in too hot, and that's because you run the risk of basically your oils evaporating or burning out, so it really will like deplete the performance of your candle. I personally find 60 degrees works really well for me, and I have been burning my essential oil candles like sort of in the morning, just because it brings a really nice vibe to the whole morning and my morning routine. I like to do a bit of reading in the morning and also like yoga and that kind of thing, and I think essential oils like complement it really nicely because of the scent. It has a very like I wouldn't say that essential, like if you get it right, essential oils are very strong, but it's just a very like pure scent. I've personally not tried combining any scents just yet because I don't have a lot of essential oils, but in my next orders I think I'm going to buy more essential oils. If you have a favorite essential oil, please let me know. I'd love to know what you recommend, and you can totally enable me in my shopping. So we're almost at the 60 degree mark. I'm gonna go ahead and just warm up my jar. If I turn it on. I'm just going to warm up my jar from the outside, and I find that that's kind of the best way. I find it not being really hot inside the jar. So we're there, and I've got my scale. Perfect. And basically the key to making sure that your candles do not combust on you is mixing the crap out of it. So we're gonna go ahead and just mix this until we can see no more oils, and until we mix as much as possible. Brilliant, so I think we are good in terms of mixing. I'm gonna go ahead and just do my pour. So I'm going to do it in one pour. I think with CS2 I generally don't need to do more than that. Perfect. Bit of a trick there, but perfect. so we're gonna go ahead and leave that and come back once it's set. But I have to say, it smells amazing in here already, so I am super excited to see how it turns out. Hey guys, so it's been a couple of hours. My candle has now set and it's looking pretty good. And it smells nice. It's still a bit difficult to, I think I need to let it cure to get the full impact of the hot throw, but I can smell it and it smells relatively strong, but I wouldn't say it's probably reached its like full strength. But yeah, I'm really pleased with how it's turned out so far. I'm gonna go ahead and trim the wick. I have a smooth top, a decently smooth top. I do have some wet spots, which is totally normal, it happens. I probably didn't heat my jar in like right around the top properly, so that's a note for next time. But yeah, it smells really good. And here we go, I'll just show you. So as you can see, I have some wet spots here, so I probably didn't heat my jar like well enough around this area, but around the other side it's okay. But this is just gonna be for me, so it's all good. So I hope you enjoyed this video and you found it useful. Just, I guess, for when you make it, just make sure that you kind of heat your jar thoroughly and don't do that like me. And I would love to know how you get on with making your essential oil candles. So if you do make your essential oil candles, I'd love to know how you get on. Don't forget, if you're looking for the essential oil guide, you can find it in the description box below. I'll see you in my next video. Until next time, bye!